Simply put, I will not support a bill that is this consequential without thoroughly understanding the impact that it'll have on our national debt.
Your morning news now. As President Biden concludes his trip to Europe today, his spending agenda hit another roadblock back home. Despite weeks of negotiations, West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin wants more information before supporting the president's Build Back Better agenda. Manchin wants the House to vote on the infrastructure bill, but progressives have blocked the measure until there's a deal for both pieces of legislation. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is hopeful the House can vote on both bills this week. As deadlines loom for military and defense civilians to get mandated COVID-19 vaccines, senior leaders are debating the fates of tens of thousands who refuse the shots or are seeking exemptions. Among the penalties considered, refusing the vaccine could be a career-ending decision or could trigger transfers, travel restrictions, and requirements to repay bonuses. Exemption decisions will be made by unit commanders around the world on what the Pentagon says will be a case-by-case basis. This could be an issue for military leaders who are pushing a vaccine mandate but want to avoid an unusual approach with those who refuse. Opening statements start today for the homicide trial of Kyle Rittenhouse after the jury was seated in just one day. About a dozen prospective jurors were dismissed after they expressed strong opinions about the case or worried they couldn't be fair. But by late last night, the 20-member panel was set, and it includes 12 jurors and 8 alternatives. The jury must decide whether Rittenhouse acted in self-defense, as his lawyers claim, or if he was engaged in vigilantism, killing 2 men and wounding a third.
This morning, we are waking up to morning lows into the 30s outside. You can see it's 37 currently in La Crosse. A little bit cool there and chilly in some spots. Your DriveCast starting off clear and cool this morning, mostly sunny for your afternoon, but we could be looking at increasing clouds this evening.
Wisconsin gun dealers are struggling to keep shelves stocked with ammunition. Supply chain disruptions and increased demand for guns and ammunition has left shelves empty in some cases. When shipments do arrive at local gun stores, ammunition is quickly snapped up. The state's Department of Justice says background checks for handguns surged 174% last year from the previous year. Public health officials in Dane County are once again extending their face covering mandate as we approach the holiday season. The order will remain in place until November 27th. Public Health Madison and Dane County says the order will expire after 22 days with no plans to institute another one at this time. Dane County's mask mandate remains the only county-wide indoor face covering mandate in the state. Boyer's Furniture officially opened its new location on La Crosse's north side. After 45 years on the south side, the business moved to their new location on George Street. The old location on West Avenue will be torn down to make way for a roundabout project. The International Festival of Owls will perch on a new date on the calendar. The annual event, held in Houston County, will start April 30th of 2022 after being held virtually last year. The move will allow the event to be held outdoors at the Houston Hoedown Days Fest grounds. The annual event attracts fans from around the globe to Houston. A well-known restaurant in La Crosse is closing its doors for good. King Street Kitchen's last day in business is today. As we first reported a few weeks ago, plans are in the works for a CCF bank to be built where the restaurant sits. The Eau Claire-based bank has 25 locations, including in Tomah and Ettrick. According to a Facebook post, the restaurant has been around for 62 years. It's operated under the King Street Kitchen name since 2006.
Highs will remain to the 40s through Thursday before warming up into the 50s Friday to the weekend, and looks pretty warm into next week as well. Lows warming up into the 30s and 40s quickly soon.
Thanks for being with us on this Tuesday morning. We're going to send you now to CBS Mornings, and we hope to see you right back here tomorrow.